Looking, we talked a little bit about sales. Obviously, you're throwing down some monster deals. You said something earlier when we were talking about sales, like you went all in, right? Like you weren't just interested in sales, you went all in. And I think one of the best messages that we can convey to the people that listen and watch this segment is like you just can't be interested in sales. Like you have to get outside your comfort zone. You can't be, hey, I'm just the technical person here running this MSP. Like you got to dive all in. And being interested in sales is going to get you less than interesting results. You were 100% committed. You read some great books. You mentioned The Ultimate Sales Machine is one. I know you've probably read 2 or 3 other ones, Challenger Sale, Sandler Systems. Like you dove all in. Funny, early on when I was doing the same exact thing, I memorized Gary's presentation word for word. And I was doing the same silly jokes that he was doing. And I did this one role play in Philly, and he looks at me and he's, Kevin, you can't be me. Like those jokes, they just don't hit the same way. And I'm all, I know. He's, well, listen, man, you're kind of coming off like a jerk. And I'm, well, dude, I'm just saying what you're saying. So no, man, you got to be yourself. And so I think starting off like with the imitation of Gary or imitating somebody that's really good in sales is great. But then you got to be able to add your own flavor to it, your own spin to it. And that comes after you're a little bit more comfortable. But shifting gears into the operations metrics of the organization, like what are some of the key things that you looked at on a monthly basis? Like you had your leadership team, they were set, they were doing an awesome job. Like, how did you know that you were doing or you were moving in the right direction just based on some simple math and numbers that you were looking at?
I'll tell you one that I really started embracing much later in the journey that I wish I would have found earlier is the rule of 40. So
the rule of 40.
Yeah. So your net profit margin plus your year-over-year growth. The two should add up to over 40, and it's really hard to get there, especially the further along you are. The bigger you are, then that percentage growth becomes way more difficult to achieve. But yeah, we were, around the time that we exited, we were hitting over 50. So, like a 25% margin, 25% growth, that sort of combo. So, it's important to buyers to see that. And it was just important for me that we're growing and we're growing profitably. You can't grow your way into profit once you get to a point. Like I hear this all the time, talking to a $2 or $3 million company, and they're like single digit profitability. And they're like, yeah, we're just going to sell this and we're going to do this and we're going to be up over 20. And you're not.
You never will.
You're not. It's so much harder when you're bigger.